Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of Viva Talks. And I hope everyone is having a productive day. If it's not productive, let's hope that you're having a good day. Tonight, our special guest is Thought Juice, other known as Average Flow.
Yep. Many names. Extraordinary man. What's going on, Lady G, Alicia?
So tonight's
You already
topic
know.
is would you give someone their green card? So, I know this is a very complicated, I'll use the word complicated topic and maybe controversial as well. It's a topic that David, a lot of people don't really want to touch on. They don't know where to go with it because I did a poll asking the same question and I barely got any responses. And a lot of people looked at that poll,
Right.
but they were very quiet. And the poll was, would you give someone their green card for love or if the price is right? I got
Right.
a
All
lot of
right.
people
So
that said for love.
a lot of people said they would do the green card for love, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I get it. Yeah. I mean, love. Listen, people will do anything and everything for love. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You know, we're suckers for love. We'll do anything for love. You know what I mean? And because no man is an island. We have different needs and wants, and it's love. It's love. That's just that's what has us. That's the human emotion. Like that's not going anywhere.
Right,
Now
right.
let's talk about that money. Okay,
Yes.
let's get down to the nitty gritty, right? So like I said, I started thinking about it, right? So let's travel a little bit. My phone, like I said, it's my Android life is I should be good. All right, so I thought about it because I was like, the question really is, what will you do for money, right?
Hmm.
So of course that brings me to what? The vaccine, right? It brings me to the vaccine, right? So I was just talking about how, you know what, if my circumstances were different, right? If I didn't have my child, um, I probably would have been that lone wolf and said, you know what, I'm going to change up, right? But we do different things in different, for different circumstances, and we think about the consequences. Um, what made me think about it was, so what would we do for money? And I feel like I have a level of integrity where I wouldn't just do anything for money. However, like I said, my integrity was definitely kind of it was tested. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And again, I was not really like, I don't know, I don't know, and I was holding on as long as I could, like, no, holding on.
David, are we talking about green card or the vaccine?
I'm bringing it back to the green cards, right? So anyway, right. So we're talking about integrity. So what would you do for a green card? So right, if the money was right, and maybe a lot of people would be like, no, no, I don't know about that. Let's just say it was 10 million. Give you 10 million greenbacks right now. Would you do it? Right? I'm just gonna make sure all clauses. I'm like, wait a minute. So are you saying we gotta? What are we doing? Wait, what are we doing for 10 million? It's just so you can get your green card and then
Mhm.
that's it.
Right. Would you give someone their green card?
Yo, see, you're gonna have a lot of people in my inbox. They're gonna start hitting me from everywhere. You
You
said
know,
you said 10 billion.
the speaking of that, the poll that I said, would you do it for love or if the price is right? A lot of people said for love, but in reality, a lot of people do it for the money. That's the reality of what it is now, especially when I was growing up. People was just helping people to get their green card just to help somebody out. It was a deal. It was an exchangement. It wasn't a love thing. It was just, okay, you do this for me and I pay you this X amount and I get this paperwork and we're done.
Yeah,
Usually
yeah.
when a
No,
lot of people do it for love, sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
you know what? I'm curious if that was really the case even back then, because you know what? The mentality of, I'll say, in this country that we live in, the mentality is one of economics.
Mm-hmm.
So even though, even way back then, I'm not sure how far, of a period you're talking about. I'm sure they were like, I'm looking out for you, you know,
Yeah.
you could slip me a few dollars, or, or this or that. There probably was some underlying deals, that was going on.
And
So,
and then back then it was easier to get.
huh?
It was easier to get your green card back then when two people came together and said, okay, if I pay you X amount, you do this for me, and it'll work out. Now it's even harder, because they
Yeah.
know. I don't want to give out too much detail because I don't know who might be watching this, but
No,
they
right.
know
No,
that
we don't say names. But the funny
right.
thing is that I do know someone, that had an experience. We haven't talked about it in depth, but and I would have to talk with the person to see, what was the motivation. But it was. I don't think it was the best of experiences or whatever, because
Mhm.
again, so now with everything, it's kind of like it's a known, it's a popular practice. So now I think you have the federales kind of, investigating it,
Mhm.
even more with a fine tooth comb. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Because when I posed this question on social media, it was like you could hear crickets. It was very quiet, and I'm like, I wonder if these people who are so quiet, do they know what a green card is? It makes me question, like, is this topic very sensitive? Maybe a lot of
Well,
people.
oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so absolutely. Okay, we have 15%. Okay, so absolutely.
Might
I
not
mean,
make it.
so if you're thinking about, check it out, someone who is in exile from their country, or trying to leave their country because their country is in ruins now. Again, yeah, that's absolutely a hot topic, because they might be in the mix of trying to, negotiate a deal. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Of that nature. Like, I think that's something that happens quite a lot.
Right.
You,
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
you
Okay.
know, yeah, yeah. Are
No,
you going to say
go ahead, because I'm gonna jump into something different.
something? Okay.
All right. So I went on Forbes, and this is a current article from May 2021, and it talked about 7 ways to get your green card. And a lot of these ways I didn't have any clue about. I only knew
Okay.
about maybe 4 ways. So the first
Okay.
way, is to marry your way in, of course,
Okay.
and that means you're sponsored by a US citizen or another green card holder, and you
Right.
marry that person, and then you go through the paperwork, the process, and then you get your green card.
Right.
A lot
Mm.
of people choose that way. There's a lot of people that do that way, and some do it for an exchange. And some people, like, for example, you go to another country on vacation and you meet someone, and you want the person to come visit you. So eventually you help the person to get a green card,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
some people actually do it for love. All right. The second way is to invest your way in. And I didn't know about this way. This is a EB5 direct investor program that enables investor immigrants to get green cards by investing 500,000 into their business, providing that they create new jobs for people. When I read that, I didn't know
Okay.
that that even existed. That if you have another business somewhere else and you come here to do that business by investing your money into the United States, you can get a green card.
Yeah. So yeah. Matter of fact, let me hear the other way that you can do it,
Other
because
ways?
yeah, I just thought of the word slavery. Slavery is it's presented in many forms, in many ways, or whatever. So yeah, come on over. Yep, we're gonna give me your money. And yes, you'll work for my company, or hey, you'll be a partner. Yeah, it's first off, for someone to even do that, they're in some desperation. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, the American way is, when one's in desperation, they try to capitalize.
Yeah.
Right? That's the mind state of of the land we're in. You know.
So the
So
third way is to transfer your way in. For example, a large company like Toyota sends a Chinese manager to the United States to work, and it has to be a managerial position.
right,
You have to run an office, for example, run an office in New York, and then eventually they get their green card in about a year or two.
right.
You
Yep.
know,
Well, and it might be, and it still might be a temporary because they're right. There's work visas and there's student visas. I'm familiar because I actually, used to do some technology consulting, hiring firm or whatever, and we used to hire people not well already here, but it would extend their visa.
mm-hmm.
Like I said, yeah, there's a lot of different situations and scenarios, um, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How's your phone looking?
Oh, we're 9%. No, listen. When I fade to black, then you'll know I'm going.
Try to put it on what is that called? The
Oh,
battery
oh,
saver? Yeah,
save. Hold on. Let me get.
the battery saver. But guys,
I'm,
David's phone is average flow, his phone battery is low.
yeah.
So if he goes black, the live still continues for half an hour, but he's trying to save some power. Okay, so the fourth way
I
is
really am.
to study your way in. And this is basically a student visa, at
Right.
a US college for 1 year. And I knew about this way also before. Then after they get the student visa, then they work. They get a working permit and they work in the United States. And eventually the boss is going to help them with going through the process with Department of Labor, and eventually they can get their green card. So that's
Okay.
the way to study your way in. So this way is very prevalent for a lot of students who don't have any money, but yet they want to get a permanent residency.
Right. Oh snap! Yeah, this is my first time saving power. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
when you save power, your phone actually helps.
I see. Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh snap! I Wow. It really is. Well, I mean, not that the percentage went up. It says I have 7%, but it says it will last for 44 minutes. We'll see that.
Yeah, it'll last longer. She
All right.
said,
We'll see.
Andreen said, charge your phone, charge your phone.
I don't have my charger with me. I told you, yeah, my bad. I forgot. You know what happened with me? I told you what I had to go do,
Yeah.
and yeah, after that, I did start to think of some food, and all right, let's see what happens.
Okay. So we just talked about the fourth way, studying your way in, getting the student visa, and then after that, you get a working permit from your boss, and you go through the process.
Right.
Okay, the fifth way is to work your way in, and this is applying for a work visa. And with this way, a lot of people do this. A lot of
Right.
people get a working permit and they don't go back to their country.
Right.
They just
Right.
stay.
Right.
This one is very common. Eventually, I noticed those people eventually just marry someone with a citizenship or another green card holder, and then they go through the process of getting it that way.
Right.
So the sixth way is to achieve your way in. And I remember hearing about this, but I didn't know it was true until I read on Forbes magazine. Drake did this. He got a green card because he's a celebrity. He's from Canada.
Right. Wait,
Drake, he didn't have a green card when he first started music. But because of his Grammys and his achievements, he was able to obtain one.
Oh, okay. Right. But yeah, that's a work visa. And then he has a big, he's making money. So when you're making money, you can make some things power. I mean,
yeah, you can make things happen.
You can make some things happen. You heard me say power because I'm looking at my phone go darker. We're at 5%. But go ahead.
Okay. The seventh one is to win your way in, and then you apply under the. I didn't know about this one, the diversity green card lottery, where 55,000 applicants are chosen. Justin Bieber is Canadian too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one. Win your way in. So you apply through a lottery.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like that's like that's a real Powerball.
Hmm.
Yep, you ball into a new country. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the 7 ways. So there are many ways to actually get your green card. But I know a lot of people opt for the easiest way, which is to marry someone, because I
Right.
think in that sense you get it quicker to
Mm-hmm.
marry a US citizen as opposed to
Got it.
trying to just get your green card from scratch,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Now
yeah,
you know what?
this is a
Yeah, I'm sorry.
big process. It's not
Yeah.
so easy. It's not easy to get your green card.
No. Well, yeah. I guess not. I don't. I don't have experience in getting a green card. Or know too many people. Um. That. But you know what? No. I mean, I do have a few friends. I know they didn't have it, but then they got it. So I don't know if it would
Yeah.
after a certain amount of time, like residence. Does that also
Well,
count? Or
if okay, if you weren't born in the United States and you're working and paying taxes here, that means you didn't have your green card. You eventually got a green card, and then you were able to work and stuff like that.
mm,
As long as you weren't born in the United States, you're a green card holder
you have
eventually
to have. Right. Right.
if you're
Right.
paying taxes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you probably know a lot of people, but you just don't think about it.
Well, yeah, I don't think about it, and then that's like I said, it's really like a personal thing. It's like if somebody has a hemorrhoid, you know what I mean. They're not going to go around telling people, like, hey, listen, how do you get rid of hemorrhoids? You know what I
Right,
mean? It's
right.
kind of the same. It's the same thing, I guess.
Yeah,
Not that
this is
experience
definitely
either,
a
huh?
private situation. People don't want people to know their business because people go run their mouth and then they're going to call INS and get
Right,
a lot of people in trouble.
right, right. Did you see Martin's episode? Um, with the I forgot who Pam was going to marry the dude who needed a green card, the janitor, the maintenance, and I forgot
Saw
what he
it
offered her.
a long time
Huh?
ago. I probably saw it a
Yeah,
long time ago.
yeah.
Okay,
So
so
yeah,
let's
no,
go to what are you saying?
yeah, no, I didn't really say much. Okay, no, you keep talking.
So
I
let's
got
go
two
into the
percent.
comments. It says, even when you marry, you have to prove it's real because they will ask personal questions. Oh, yeah, it's not like before when you said you were married to someone and you faked the marriage by running to the person's house when you knew that the investigators were going to come to check you out, to check to see if that marriage was real. Now they're asking real personal questions. For example, if you say you're married to this person because you're trying to obtain your green card, they're going to ask, what did the person sleep in at night? What do they do
Right,
before they go to bed? Which side of the bed do they sleep on? You
right.
know,
Right
they
hand
get
and
real
left hand. Right
personal.
hand, left hand. Yeah, 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 yeah. But you know what? Again, I mean, there's different forms of it. There's different phases of it because you know what? Also, that people do. What they do is they're saying like, hey, listen, this is going to be the setup. You're going to get to know me. Like I said, first of all this is allegedly because I really don't know. I'm at 1%. So if it cut me off mid sentence, hey, listen, keep doing the show. I'm going to try to hop back in if I make it home by then. But anyway, they also say, hey, listen, you know what? We're going to be around each other for like a month or two so that you can answer these questions. You know what I mean? And hey, listen, it's whatever it takes to get the job done because it's a job, it's a task. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's
Yeah.
business.
So the
Yeah.
question is, would you give someone their green card?
Would
I think
I?
I would.
No, you
I
you
think
think you would? Would you
I
do it?
wouldn't. No, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't. I think I would. I would give someone their green card because I personally know how hard it is to obtain these documents. I have a family background with
But
green
here we
cards.
go.
Hmm?
I just thought about it. See, but with everything, right? Let's just say somebody, yeah, I need your green card, right? And they're like, yep, green card, but guess what? They also have a life insurance policy on you. Oh, I'm gone. Damn. Oh well, that's that. I did it for 20 minutes. Hopefully she can hold it down.
Oh, okay. All right. So David is his phone died. So yeah, I think I would give someone their green card, depending on the circumstances, how well I know the person, or depending on where I am in life. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't help someone to get their green card because, from family history, I have insights on how hard it is for someone who is hardworking and coming from another country and trying to make a honest living. How it feels to not be able to do a lot because they don't have that permanent residency, because you can't go to college if you don't have a green card. You can't get a legal job. You can't pay taxes. It's a lot of deficiencies because you don't have that document. So I think I would definitely have a heart, depending if I was single or whatever. I would have a heart to try to help someone to obtain their green card. I'm not going to say no, I wouldn't, because there's certain things I would say no, I wouldn't do because I know myself, but this topic is kind of iffy. And what dawned to me was when I put this topic out there, a lot of people didn't respond to it. And I'm not sure why a lot of people didn't respond to this topic. Is it because of fear? A lot of people are going through the situation, or they didn't like the topic. It's just something to think about. But yeah, like I said, I have personal experience with people in my family who went through this process, and it's not so easy to obtain these documents. The United States makes these things very hard and very expensive to do. So kudos to people who are trying to obtain their permanent residency card and trying to make it in the United States, because being in the United States, you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. All right, so I'm going to thank you guys so much for coming on tonight's episode 4, and I'm going to see you in 2 weeks for episode 5 of Viva Talks. All right. Good night.